Hello and welcome to Educated STEM. I'm Kate, the founder of Educated STEM, and today we're going to finish the set of videos on how to do an academic job search and applying for the role. So if you've watched all the previous videos, hopefully you have decided what kind of institution you want to apply for. You have written all of your documents that are needed. You have tailored them appropriately to each institution and department that you've applied for. You've submitted them, and now you have received that exciting confirmation that you are going to go through at least the initial stage of the interview process. So the first round of interviews is going to be usually virtual, so either on the phone or a video conference. If you are going to be attending an annual conference and there's a member of the search committee attending, it might also be an opportunity for them to meet you in person there. But it's probably going to be either over the phone or a video conference where more individuals can be involved. It's going to be a short conversation, so maybe 30 minutes, maybe slightly more, where they just assess your suitability for the role. They're going to talk about your proposed research, your teaching experience, and really dig into your interest in the institution and department. So before you have the initial phone call, remind yourself about the institution and the department, and also the documents that you have submitted. You don't want to get them confused with someone else that you've applied for and to say something which is wrong. They will notice that and it will go against you. So review everything, make sure that you're completely prepared for the interview. If it's over the phone, I would suggest having a notepad in front of you or something where you've jotted down some key questions that you would like to ask them, because you do want to ask questions. It shows that you've done your homework, but also reinforces that you're interested in the role. If you're doing a video conference, you can have the same thing, or you can put post-it notes kind of on the wall or around the screen so that you can see where the questions are. If it's a video conference, try and look at the camera. I know I'm horrible at that. When I record these things, I can see myself just off center, which is why I often look off center, but you focus on the camera because it will make it appear as if you're looking into the eyes of the people who are interviewing you. Obviously look professional. You want to look the part, even if it's just a professional top. And just make sure that you don't stand up at any point, and it will definitely put you in the mood if you make yourself look and feel good before the interview. So make sure that you've prepared, ask your questions. At the end of the interview, you're going to thank them for their time and for their consideration, and then you're going to email everyone who was present on that interview, thanking them for their time and their consideration. You can answer any additional questions that you may have, or they may have. If you feel that during the interview you misspoke or could have said something more clearly or in a better fashion, this is your opportunity to rectify that. You can bring it back up and say, I just want to expand on this. If a different question has popped into your mind, you can also put this here. Hopefully this email is going to be sent to everyone rather quickly. It doesn't need to be within the first 30 minutes, but certainly within the first 48 hours, just to show that you're still interested in the position. Hopefully after the interview and after you've sent all of the required thank you notes, you will then be invited to the campus for in-person interviews. And so the institution will pay for you to come out and interview in person as soon as they start communicating with you, or even as soon as they start communicating with you. Even if it's someone's assistant, you are obviously going to be polite and courteous, because at any point they may be judging you, and the person who may be interacting with you may be the department chair's assistant or someone else in a similar role. So they have the ear of your search committee, and if they have an interesting interaction with you, you can bet they will mention it to the person they report to, and that's not going to look very good on you. So make a good impression over email, when you speak on the phone. You're always on, you're never off, you're constantly being interviewed. So when you go onto campus, there's probably a few different meetings and presentations that you have to give. It could be scheduled over 1 to 2 days, depending on the institution, the level that you're coming in at. You will be meeting with potential colleagues, and this may look different in a few different ways. So you might meet the department chair, you might meet a dean or a provost, you will meet faculty members in the department, you might meet postdocs and graduate students. And this will be in different settings. So it could be over meals, so breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It could be over refreshments, so a coffee or tea break. It could be a one-on-one meeting. So if you're meeting with the department chair or someone higher, then it's probably going to be a one-on-one meeting in their office. It could also be when you're walking and transitioning around campus. So, you're moving to the next appointment, or maybe they're driving you somewhere. So the conversation continues. And so at this point, they've probably decided that you have the skill set in order to do the job. They're looking at you as a potential colleague. So do they like you? Are you someone that they might be able to collaborate with? Are you someone that they might just want to hang out with? Could you be a friend? So this isn't the opportunity to only talk about yourself. You're going to be asking them questions about their research, maybe their educational history, what it's like living in this area which you may have no experience at. So get to know them. And then if you're asking questions, it gives you the opportunity, especially if it's over a mealtime, in order to eat. I don't know about you, but if I'm hungry or thirsty, I might be a little hangry. I'm not going to be able to put my best foot forward. It's probably going to become pretty obvious that something isn't quite right. So make sure that you eat and drink at the appropriate times. And the way to do that is by asking the other person questions, which will give you the opportunity to eat and drink. So get to know your potential colleagues as well. And hopefully you will get an itinerary before you travel, and so you can go and research the people that you're meeting. So what is their role at the university? How long have they been in it? What is their research area? Make sure that you're prepared for each person as well as you can. It may lead you to realize that you've got something similar in your background. So maybe you went to the same institution, maybe you know some of the same people, that sort of thing. You're going to be asked to give some presentations, and so you will be probably asked to give a research or a job talk. This should be the easiest presentation for you to give. You're going to be talking about your previous research and the research that you want to do and potential collaborations you can do with others on campus. This is your comfort zone. You're basically, giving another postdoc presentation like you've done. You're just taking it a bit further with your future research areas. The next presentation is going to be a teaching demonstration. So they will send you a topic that they want you to teach beforehand, and it is your job to prepare appropriately for it. So they'll tell you what class level it's supposed to be. So, is it an introductory class or is it more advanced? This is the topic they want you to cover. You have this time frame, and you are going to put together whatever materials that you need, and then you're going to actually present it to students. So someone will witness this. They will definitely be in the room judging your ability, and then the students will probably also be asked to assess your abilities as well. So this, you might want to practice a little bit, especially if the topic that they give you isn't something that you are necessarily as comfortable with. Practice makes perfect. You can do this. The final presentation is the one that makes most people panic, and it is something called a chalk talk. And so this is something that you need to practice before you go in. You are going to have a specific set of time, so it could be 45 minutes to an hour, where you're going to talk about the importance of your research and your future research aims and how you're going to get there. And all you're going to have is usually a whiteboard, or maybe if they're old school, it could be a blackboard with actual chalk. And so the committee will ask you questions throughout the experience. So expect interruptions. You are going to need to be able to organize your thoughts, have a set plan about how you're going to demonstrate this. So what is the title of your research? What are your research aims? If there is a diagram or flow chart that you can put together to kind of show how things are going to work, practice all of that. It looks better if you don't have any notes with you on the day. You can have some if necessary, but it does project an awful lot more confidence if you can go in there with absolutely nothing. You've practiced this so many times, you know that you can do it. So as they ask you questions, and again this is the same if they ask you questions during the other presentations, how you respond is also going to give them information about whether you're going to be a good colleague or not. So are you confident when you discuss your research? Do you get combative or defensive when they ask you questions? Do you have a passion for your research, and does it come across? And so this is a great place where practicing with your peers, practicing with your current mentor, they will tell you, you can describe this better. You can make a better diagram. I can't read your writing at all. You really need to work on making that clearer so that the people that you're showing actually understand what you're writing. If you can't write quickly or nicely, then you're going to have to write less. The only way that you're going to know that is by actually trying it out. I can write pretty quickly, but in order for it to be legible, I need to slow myself down. So know that going in. So practice again, get a whiteboard. Hopefully your institution has a room that you can borrow and you can just go in and practice, and then get people to watch it and practice again. Because this is definitely one of the key things that you need to absolutely knock out of the park for the interview. Then obviously there's going to be meals. So I've already said that you're going to be talking to people, potential colleagues, throughout meals and refreshments. So hopefully you're going to order food that is easy to eat, or they have brought in food that is easy to eat. You don't want to be sat there panicking about twiddling spaghetti or something else that might be complicated, especially if you're wearing white and are worried about splattering it down your front. Make sure that what you eat it can be done daintily without making a huge mess. And then the key thing, do you drink alcohol? So you may not drink at all, which is completely fine. But if you do enjoy a tipple and they suggest when you're out to dinner, would you like something to drink? Take your cues from the other people. Have they ordered alcohol? If they haven't ordered alcohol, then it would look a bit weird if you then did. But if they have ordered, maybe you can have one, possibly two, definitely no more than that. You definitely want to present yourself well. You've just spent the entire day, possibly 2 days, trying to make yourself look as amazing as possible. You do not want to get a little drunk and tipsy and undo all of that amazing work. So again, don't feel that you have to drink. You can politely decline or say, you know, I just don't want to drink today, or you know, no thank you, I'll stick to juice or soda or whatever it is. But definitely this is not the time where you're like, woohoo, free alcohol, I'm going to have a few. No, you're still representing yourself. The interview isn't over until you've said your last goodbye, you're traveling home, and then hopefully you're emailing everyone with all those lovely thank you notes again, thanking them for taking the time to interview you again, clarifying anything that you feel that you may have misspoken or you can add to. And then you nervously have to wait to see if you are potentially invited back for a second interview, or just offered the job. If you have family or children, sometimes they might want to give you the option of coming out and making sure that it's a good fit for your family and your children, because they don't want you to leave if you're not happy there. So that might be another option for a well-funded institution. Not every institution will do that, so just bear that in mind. But hopefully you followed all the steps and you will receive an offer where you can join the institution as a junior or an assistant professor role. So thank you for joining me on this journey about how to apply for academic jobs. I hope it helps. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Again, you can go and download the document that I have written along with all of the sources that I have used. It is going to be $3 from Educated STEM on Patreon, but it is only the price of a cup of coffee, and I have taken a lot of information and condensed it into a much shorter document. So please go ahead and download that. So I hope it helps. Let me know if you're applying for various roles. I'm excited to hear how you do, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.